Party people, tag team back again. Oh, what's up, everyone? It's a Sunday night appearance. I know we're used to doing this in the morning time, Sunday morning, but I wanted to talk an evening stream, I guess, just to see what everyone's up to, because people tell me, you know what, I can't catch the stream in the morning because sometimes I got to go to church, sometimes I got to go shopping with the wife, sometimes it interferes with breakfast. So I just wanted to make sure we got an opportunity to speak to everyone, say hello to everyone, and see what's going on, because I got questions, and hopefully you got answers. Big Mark Stewart's in the chat. What's up, Big Mark? I want to talk about aura. There's an aura. Ooh, there's an aura around this team. And I keep thinking about it, and I keep thinking about it over and over again. What does aura mean? Yeah, I loved it because, I do another podcast with the young ward, Ryan, from Ryan's Big Blue Podcast, and all I could ever think about is,
yeah, it'd be the greatest fight ever. Teacher against student, old lion against young lion.
And when he talks about it, the aura, he goes, well, you may remember it as swag or cockiness or this, but it's aura. Ooh. And I've asked him, and I've asked multiple people, towards his age, and maybe a little older, what is the intrinsic value of aura? What does it mean? What's the intrinsic value of it? Seriously, what does it equate to? We always talk about, you have the, we all have our favorite
King of the almost sack.
We got King of the almost sack because we always have to talk about pressures. Oh, pressures always equal something, but we always ask, what do pressures equal? What does it equate to? So what is aura? What is the intrinsic value of aura? How many wins does T-Brad's in his house? Hopefully we can have T-Brad on a little bit. But what is the value of aura? I don't know. I can't quantify it. I'm not a physics guy or a physics major. How the hell do I know what it is? But I can tell you this. It doesn't mean anything. Massey dropping in the big old super chat. Good morning, Massey, or good evening, Massey. Also, don't forget, all super chats go to Philadelphia Children's Hospital. So you know what? They need some cash. So if you want to give super chats, normally I don't even ask or talk about super chats, but you know what? I was reading some articles about the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. They need some influx of cash. So let's make sure we do that. And Massey with the big old super chat going. Just got back from Euro holiday. Jealous. Met some New Yorkers and New Jersey folks in Italy. Had a great time talking Jets and Giants and all things football. Did you get back to did you run into Carl Banks? Because Carl Banks was over in Europe. I think he was in the UK. I think he's in London though, Carl Banks. But hopefully they had a nice time. Euro vacations are nice. I've never been to Italy. But you know what? You always find people that want to talk football. You always want to find people that want to talk Giants. You always want to find those people. Well, welcome back. Hope you had a great time. Did you find your aura? That's right, Ryan. I'm talking about you, Ryan, Big Blue Podcast. I'm going to run it. Before I get into aura, I want to make sure I get to everyone in the chat real quick. I'm passing the phone to someone else. Got to hit that like button. The Giants and their social media is getting a little cringe. I'm not going to lie. James and I were talking about this. I'm not going to lie. They're getting a little cringe. This crap of, all these videos they're trying to make. And I know they're trying to appeal to the younger fan base. And one of the pictures is Jackson Jar just like laying back in his uniform. Like, yeah, I'm cool. That's aura. Aura what? We're not going to sit on the bench? Hey, James Stein says, what's up? James Lamb, hit the like button. Can I wait for the stream to start? Good evening, Tim. Good evening, Jersey guys. I always love Jersey guys. They love great comments. Good evening, Tim, James, and the entire team of Online Big Blue, the best in the business. I would lie and say we weren't the best of the business, but you're 100% right. Jay Fair says, where is my Ninja James? He's right around here somewhere. Boo. Party people! This is Giants Among Men. Jay Fair says, Breakfast Club Right on Track needs to be the intro. Breakfast Club Right on Track is a great 80s song, but we're not going to talk about 80s songs right now. Of course, we got the Mark Stewart. We got the James already. What a handsome, mature male. Well, that's 100% right. Hit that like button, says Robert Trenton in the Yo-Yo house. It's a Sunday live stream because it's all about the aura of the Giants. If someone could just tell me what aura would do, what it would be part of. I would be happy about that. Someone in the chat can explain to me the aura, because I always thought it was talent. Maybe it's because I'm old. Yes, I'm wearing my Rocket jersey from my old high school, the Rockets. You also might remember me as Reno Hightower. Jay Ferris says, Tim and James on the Giants of Rob was like Ted DiBiase and the Virgil making the ring walk. WWF SummerSlam of 1998. Oh, we got Ryan in the Big Blue Podcast going, what's up, Timmy? T-Brad says, hit the like button. Olivier Verdon had one really good season. Leonard Williams was the king of the almost sack. Olivier Vernon could do many things well. He could play the run. Can we talk about Carl Banks a second? Can we literally talk about Carl Banks just for 1 second? Because he has mystified me. He has, and Massey's dropping another super chat for the kids. Ravens are stacked, should make Super Bowl. Can we rank who you think are the top 5 teams, Tim, and where the Giants are in comparison? I still see the Giants in the bottom rung. If I'm looking at the Giants, I'm looking at the Giants as probably mid-20s, maybe up a little bit further on that. You gotta pick Baltimore, you gotta pick Kansas City. You have to go with, of course, the Eagles. I know we don't want to go with the Eagles, but those, I mean, right now, I would think those are your top 3 teams. And then you kind of got to think about where you want to go with the rest of the league. I mean, you got Detroit. Is Buffalo? I mean, you have to throw Buffalo into the mix. And then you got to think a little bit down further, because we don't know what Minnesota's going to be. Minnesota with JJ McCarthy. And then you got to think, can Tampa Bay, can Tampa Bay make the move? And you always have to throw Green Bay in there. But if I got to pick, see, it's the top 3 is easy. Once you get, because you're going to go, you're going to go Baltimore, you're going to go Philadelphia, then you're going to go, in my mind, you're going to go Detroit. And then after that, it could be the Bills. It could be KC. It could be Tampa. It could be Green Bay. You're throwing a lot into a crapshoot there, and that's what we kind of got to be. That's what we kind of have to be curious about. We have to be very careful about. With the Giants, I say the Giants are still in the mid-20s, but like I said, we have to wait to see what we do when we get into camp a little bit. Let's get into camp a little bit. Trenton with a big old super chat given out to the kids at the Philadelphia Children's Hospitals. Ravens are overrated, and so is Lamar. Hurts is better. I love you, brother, and you know that. You know I love you, brother, but we've said it.
It's Daniel Jones.
Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
All right. Trenton, get out of Kensington. Trenton doesn't need to get. Trenton, don't go to Kensington. You got to get out of there, brother. You got to get out of there quick. I am a Jalen Hurts fan. I'm a Jalen Hurts enthusiast. I did a show with Bad Dog 5 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever, and I stole the virtue of why Jalen Hurts was better than Daniel Jones. And I thought I had him convinced, and then he kind of went off the crazy train. But no, I can't give you that one. As much as I want to give you that one, I cannot give you that one. Sure, I could hang out with y'all. All right, we're gonna hang out with you in a little bit. OGR Sports says, Tim, that's all you need is aura. Don't question it. Just go with the flow. So I'm gonna have to reach that upper level. My mind, body, and soul must be one. It's a sacrifice, because that's what you do. You go with the flow. It's like it's Bruce Leroy. That's what it is. Fighting the Shogun of Harlem. Show enough. Jersey guy says, an aura is a distinctive quality that surrounds an object or an individual. That was good, Jersey guy. I actually like that one. Robert says, good evening, Tim. Only 41 days until we get to see the Giants football again. Yeah, training camp tickets are going to be available July 10th. We're also going to say, I think rookies are reporting July 22nd. So that's good. That's going to be a lot of fun. Blackbird says, good morning. I order the backwards hurdle Nike Saquon shirt. Don't tell anyone. Blackbird, I'm going to have to tell a lot of people. I'm gonna have to be there. Hey, Eddie says OBB gotta get Big Dash on here. We had Big Dash on the other day. Big Dash was on the other day. You know, because that's just the way we roll. I love Big Dash. James Stein says, I think it is a feeling you get about a team. They're talking about the aura being on. Oh, I wanted to get to Carl Banks for a minute because evidently Carl Banks has come to the dark side. And I was literally shocked by this. And I am going to pull up his Twitter post because I think that some Carl Banks was replaced. I think Carl Banks was replaced with evil Carl Banks. You know, because he's been putting out these posts about the Giants defense. And I love this one post. He says, I say this with every ounce of Giants blue blood in my veins. Do not fall for it. It's poison. A defensive line that finished 27th versus the run has not earned the right to be ranked top 5. I love the talent upgrade, but I want to see a domineering. Oops, I got to click on that. I want to see a domineering read about it. Fuck what is written, show and prove. That was written about the Pro Football Focus post coming up about the Giants in the top 5 defenses, or the top 3. They were actually top 3 defensive line. And I saw that, I just assumed Carl Banks was replaced with a robot. But then he follows it up with a different post. And I'm sitting there going, is he coming? Is he gunning for my job? Is that what he does? Is he gunning for my job? Because then he talked about how that you need to understand how to. He loved distinction is that you were true linebackers with true diverse skill set. These guys are more specialists. They do one thing very well. My group did everything asked of us exceptionally well. Edge players excel rushing the passer, should be above average against the run. Great balls of fire. I was like, what is going on with Carl? I'm befuddled by it. Carl Jr., what do you think?
I don't know. My dad's awful cool, man.
I don't know what's going on with Carl, but I like it. He's hanging on by a very. I always think about Jerry Maguire. He's hanging on by a very thin thread, and I dig that about Carl right now. Let's see. I am young, so aura means something to me. What does it mean, Trent? What does it mean? What does aura mean? Because if you go on the football field and someone scores 5 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, would the aura make it only 4 touchdowns? Is there a way that we can see this aura? Is there an aura detector? Because sitting there was, like I said, young Ryan reminded me, you probably remember that swag. I remember swag as the deodorant. Jay Ferris says the Giants social media is selling wolf tickets for sure. Yeah, the Giants social media it's just going fucking nuts. Davey says, you know, with Randall Cunningham jerseys, is your wife finding you another woman? That's not a Randall Cunningham jersey. This is a Reno Hightower jersey. Reno Hightower, probably one of the greatest unknown quarterbacks out of Kern County. Polkai, not Polkai. Polkai's Al Bundy. Are you a rocket or a pissant? Reno Hightower had aura. We've talked about it. Yes, I do. Look at this. You want to talk about a Jackson Dart pitcher? That's Reno Hightower. That's aura. Standing above everyone else. Leading the pack of men. Best podcast on the tube. Oh, thank you. Also, the best podcast on any place you find the Believe Network. We have some guests coming up, and we got a guest video coming up tomorrow. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's a former NFL wide receiver. And then I'm actually doing an interview tomorrow morning with a pretty big guest. And then I got another interview the next day we're going to be doing. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you follow that on the podcast. It's also going to be up here, but it's going to be on the podcast first. So make sure you check that out. Aura of what? 3 wins. Hey-o. Trenton will explain. I'm a Zoomer. I understand this term better than most. Oh, I can't wait because I want to hear about aura. Robert said aura is actually the stench from the swamp nearby. Listen, anyone that's driven up the turnpike, when you get to about exit 14, there's this sulfur smell. And there's like a smelting plant or something. I don't know what the hell it is, but you see the big chimney stacks, but you smell it going up. It's about exit 14 because 16W is the thing. Actually, it's actually a little before the airport, so it'd probably be more on exit 12. That's how you know you're in Jersey, man. Zach. So, what's up, Zach? Aura, Robert. Aura is actually this. Oh, we got the swamp giving out the smell for MetLife. What jersey is that to look nice? Like I said, I'm going to say it once. I'm going to say it twice. I'm going to say it a million times. It's the Reno Hightower jersey from Taft. That's right. Kern County's greatest quarterback ever, Reno Hightower. Just got to make sure you guys know that. Jay Sayers, it's from what used to be played the 1950s throwback. Jay, you're a dick. Detroit became the Giants and the Giants became Detroit. And look, we have become, for a period of time, we did become not even the Matthew Stafford, not even the Joey Harrington. We became the fucking Chuck Long Detroit Lions. That's how bad we've been playing right now. Dallas is as good as Philly. Here's the thing with that. Dallas is, for people that made fun of Dallas's free agency and everything else, Dallas has had a pretty good offseason. And if you get a healthy Dak Prescott, they're not going to be terrible. This division, I'm not saying this is going to be like I'm not saying this is going to be the NFC East of the 80s, where we also still had the St. Louis Cardinals. But this division is not going to be a gimme. This is not going to be a gimme division. This is going to be because of the schedule this entire division has to play. I would not be shocked if the person that won this division only won 9 games. I would not be stuck by that. I would not. Campbell was the tight end for the New York Giants, correct? Well, Campbell, yeah, there was a Campbell. Let's see. Your Jersey guy said the current aura is constant reminder of the current being a Giant fan. We're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine, guys. You may not think you're gonna be fine. You may not be sure if you're gonna be fine. But I'm gonna tell you right now, as Giant fans, we're gonna be all right. Is Jackson Dart the aura filled quarterback that we need him to be? I don't know. I literally could not tell you if that is Jackson. Hold on, I got a little feedback there. I'm not even going to tell you he is or he isn't, but I am going to tell you this: if you can get enough out of your secondary, if Paulson, Adebo, Banks, and Holland play up to beyond expectations, you have limited play on your linebackers right now. To Carl Banks's point, you have 3 defensive ends who can't really play the run. I know he didn't say that directly, but that's kind of what he meant. That just can't play the run. So then you're going to have to kind of figure this out at once. And that's what I'm thinking is going to happen with the Giants. I mean, I think if you generate a pass rush and your secondary can play well enough, then you should be all right. And you may have to. I mean, what I worried about is other team. People always talk about how well the secondary played at times last year. Well, no, because when you're 27th against the run, or 20, when your defense is 27th in the run, yeah, you don't really need the pass. When you gave up over 2,000 yards and 15 plus touchdowns on the ground, you don't really need the pass. J.J. Ferris says, honestly, when we played Detroit over the last 30 years, weird shit always happens. I still remember the 97-yard touchdown run by the great Lawrence Taylor. Lamar is a dynamo. You crazy. Of course he's crazy. Blackbird says, Lamar is listen, I like Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts a lot, but no. There's Lamar Jackson and there's Jalen Hurts. Okay. Then there's Daniel Jones. Okay. Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Davey says, speaking of crack will be the only way enjoying watching the Giants football. No. I don't think the Giants are going to be as bad as people think, but I also don't think they're going to be as good as people think. I think it's going to be in that weird middle ground. You're going to have to hope the offensive line can find something. You have to hope Cam Scattaboo is not going to get swallowed up by these bigger lines. You got to hope that Tyrone Tracy can hold on to the ball. You got to hope their wide receiving core outside of Malik Neighbors can do something special. So I can't tell you, and I'm not sure, but like I said, I think you're in that weird. Like I said, I still see 6 wins, but you're in that weird spot, 5 to 6 wins. You're not exactly terrible, but you're not exactly good. That's the way we're going to have to look at it this year. Blackbird says Lamar is a 2-time MVP. James Stein says, I believe the Giants are going to win 5 to 7 games if we're lucky. Lucky, yeah, 5 to 7. 7 if we're lucky. But like I said, I think, and this is the weird thing, because I was looking at the schedules of every NFC East team because it's the same as ours. But I was looking at how they break out. I think the Eagles, like us, are playing like 8 playoff teams. Something fucking crazy like that. It's crazy. This schedule for the NFC East, that's why I said I think 9 wins could take the NFC East. And because it's going to be tough for everyone, it's just going to prove how good these other teams are. I've said this before, and people think I'm nuts. You take a look at the first 6 games of the Giants' schedule. You go 3-3. You go 3-3 in those first 6. You have 11 games left. You only have to go 6-5. I think if you go 3-3, you go 6-5 over your last 11. You got a shot at making the playoffs and taking the division. Not saying that it's anywhere close going to happen, but I mean, just think about that for a minute. I've been drinking, Tim. Of course, my Eagles bias is coming. It's all right, man. You're allowed to be biased. You're a fan. Jay Ferris says Jalen Hurts is a nice kid. Has his touch passing is nice. However, he couldn't hit the side of a barn his first year. No, he couldn't. Hey, Trenton, where's Mr. Taz? I just assumed all Eagle fans know all Eagle fans. Call Mr. Taz, tell him to come on. I haven't talked to him well. Zach Attack says, I need the Eagles not to win the division again. It's a crapshoot. I still think it's a crapshoot. I mean, like I said, I can't give back-to-back divisional winners with the Eagles. I really can't. I don't know. It's a crapshoot. Let's see here. Hurts got carried by his running back. Some guy named Saquon Barkley. But Hurts did perform well. Hurts performed extremely well in the Super Bowl. They lost. And he performed well last year. He's a big time guy, but like I said, he is a big moment player. But does that mean I think he is going to be better than the likes of Lamar Jackson? No, he's not even close to that. Don't smoke crack is the only way of enjoying watching the Giants nowadays. Bruce Leroy is 100% aura. No, Bruce Leroy is 100% the glow. Because as you know, when you reach that upper level, your mind, body, and soul must be one.
Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Sure enough.
Oh, sure enough. LeVar, what's up? LeVar, where have you been? Let's hear. Let's talk. Let's make the likes match the views. Go Giants. Thank you, brother. LeVar, I haven't seen you in a while, man. Blackbird's all laughter. Giants revival. It's the Giants revival. I'm thinking about starting a new channel and calling it the Giants revival. Would that be wrong? I always have to ask things like, would that be wrong? Because I think it'd be funny as shit. But I have to check on that. Trent says smash that like button. The Eagles have done OPP with the Giants. OPP, yeah, you know me. Mara checked bounce. Oh, because of the Carl Banks thing. I don't know. It goes back to when Carl Banks and Bob Papa did their first Believe broadcast or YouTube thing, whatever the fuck it's called. Stream, like we're doing. When he did his first one, and I was shocked when he said we could all be happy in November, but we could also be 0-8. And I was like, okay. I just watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like the Donald Sutherland one from the 70s or the 60s. I just watched it the other day. Did the pod people switch out Carl Banks? Is that what happened? Did the pod people switch him out? I enjoy watching Papa get sauce during the Mega Cast. Yeah, that was pretty funny, actually. Zacatec says Carl Banks was replaced by Illuminati in Vacation. Was like that. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm stunned by it. I'm befuddled by it. OJR says, now you need to do Carl Banks with the Darth Vader helmet saying, I find your lack of faith disturbing. I find your lack of faith disturbing. I can't even say lack of faith disturbing. Oh my God. I mean, but like I said, will it last? That's the question that I have with Carl Banks. Will it last? Because like me, when I'm sitting there and I'm doing this show, and people think, oh, you've gone soft, and I always think,
Yes, yes. Suddenly my whole outlook has changed from bad to good.
Great.
But will it last? I really am a mean and despicable creature at heart, you know.
what do we got? Giants will have the aura if they make Scataboo a feature of their offense. But does aura trump talent? Trenton, good question. Does aura trump talent? Think about that. I think Cam Scataboo could be a good NFL player. Not a great NFL player. I mean, I think he could be maybe a fringe starter in a couple of years. But the problem is he lacks speed. He lacks breakaway speed. He's not going to get away with some of the ping pong shit that he was doing in college, because you're going to run up against bigger, stronger defensive linemen, and linebackers are going to be much bigger than you and not afraid to take you head on. So does that aura help him be a better player? I don't know. That's my big question. The writing is on the wall for the Giants to go to the playoffs. Who knows after we secure a seat? Listen, if the Giants secure a seat, man, I'm you know, I'm you know, I don't know. Like I said, 3-3. Let's look at these first six first. Jay Ferris, he be selling knockoff starter jackets. Jay, you are so down on Carl Banks because of the starter jackets. Davey says we need the cheerleaders from the replacements to make us buy tickets to the Giants. Jay Ferris says we don't have cheerleaders. Our cheerleader is Paul Donato. Oh my God. Or is something you can't describe until you see it, my man. Okay, looks all right. Trenton, tell me a player or tell me someone who has aura that has made that person a better player beyond his talent. What's up? What's up, Daniel? Sports Show, Delaware Short Show. What you doing, my brother? Do you have the white shoes? Reno Tower always has the white shoes, brother. You know Reno Tower. It is Taft High. I was a little bit. Tim, you look amazing. What's your 40 time? Is it less than your age? That's amazing. No, my 40 time is 40 times a week and a half. I keep telling people though, and I keep texting Matt Sims about this. I'm coming to his football camp. I'm coming to his quarterback camp. I am wearing the Reno Hightower jersey. I am going to his quarterback camp so I can produce some film, so I have a tape, so I can secure an NIL deal. Just saying. We're getting the NIL deal. We're going to use Matty Sims, his camp, and I'm going to try to get tape. Or I'm hoping that Phil's at the camp that day. He swaps jersey with me and pretends he's me, and then he helps me get my NIL deal. Furman, here I come. Okay? Furman, here I come. I can probably run a 5.5 and a 40. Zagatag says aura means something that inspires a team and you have feel. Yes, but okay, but I keep asking the same question. What is I don't get aura. Okay, aura what? Or you better not know what I'm talking about. You know the 70 Sables films. Oh, I love the Sable 70 films. Let's see here. Zach Attack says, is it the Linden Power Plant near exit 13? Oh, that's what it is. Yes. It's cool power smell, hence the sulfur smell. Yes, it was exit 13. Thank you, Zach Attack. So, yeah. Does Homer Simpson work there? Actually, I think he does. Trent says, Dallas is a loser franchise. Haven't sniffed a championship in 30 years. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah. But only one. I always tell people this over and over again. How many teams can win a championship? One team wins a championship every year. So there's 31 other losers. So it's not as easy as it sounds. I mean, there's certain teams like the Detroit Lions that never even won a championship. Trenton said, Cleveland Browns, I'm not staring at you. Trenton says Eagles will win the division with a 12-5 record. I can't see it. The Eagles are what? They're playing 8 playoff teams? 8 teams that made the playoffs last year? This is not going to be a cakewalk. This is not the easy. I think Philadelphia and Washington at times relied on the easiness of the schedule, especially when the Giants sucked and Dak went down. So I think it's going to be a little bit different this year. I'm not saying it's not. Oh, someone's texting me. Stop texting me. No. Oh, you know who it is? It's where is he? Where's Don? Dallas is cheap and selling shit. They aren't contending. No, they're not contending. Dallas is not contending. One thing, Mike, I don't know. It's still fucking early. Who knows? Let's see. Where am I? Who's that lady? I found the greatest channel ever in the car. And it's called a Classic Funk. Greatest channel in the car. I've been listening to it all day long for like the last 3 days. It's called Classic Funk. It could also be found on iHeartRadio. It's called Classic Funk. Make sure you listen. Make sure you listen to the funk. Blackbird says, I have the Dallas winning the division. Dak will win. If you have a healthy Dak, for as much shit as Dak Prescott gets, if you have a healthy Dak, you do have a good quality quarterback. If you have a healthy Dak, I still rank the quarterback. I still rank the quarterbacks, Jalen, and I would take a healthy Dak just for a season, not for a career. I would take a healthy Dak over Jaden Daniels, and then I would take everyone over the Giants. But I would probably go Jalen, Dak, Jaden, and then Russell Wilson. So, yeah, you got a chance. I'm a Jersey girl in a Jersey world. Jersey, that's a Barbie girl. Jay Ferris says, honestly, I look too dumb to be a head football coach. Future in the NFL, ball hawks and pass rushers. What's a good quarterback? Oh, that's a good question. James Williams says, hit the like button. Everyone was waiting for James to come into his house. Let's see here. James is just making the rounds, saying hello to everyone. Let's see here. 6 wins is a kiss of death for this NFL team. I'd rather go 0-17 than winning 6 games. You're not going 0-17, Dave. You're not even close. Listen, I'm going to keep saying this till the cows come home. This division is screwed. Do I think the Giants have the talent to take over this division? No. But what I do think the Giants have is the talent to maybe squeak out some wins and screw some things up for people. But think about this and listen for a second. I'm going to say this over and over again. I'm going to make sure that it's out in the stratosphere. 3-3 in your first 6. I think 9 games takes this division. 6-5 over your last 11. You only have to be 1 game over 500 to potentially take the division. Can they do it? I got no clue. But think about that for a second. Think about it. Let's all think about it. Let's ponder. Like Christian Ponder. Hey-oh. Blackbird says, what's happening, my brother? Of course, he's talking over to James. Salute to the Iceman. Trenton says, I think it'll take at least 11 wins. No, Trenton, it's not. Every team is playing the same schedule. So if the Cowboys get better and the Giants improve, you have basically created this quagmire within your own division. Back in the mid 80s, when you had You had the Eagles good. You had the Cardinals okay with Neil Lomax. You had the Giants. And, you had the Cowboys, always who were perennial season winners, but then losers. You had this divisional thing going on. And each team kind of took games away from each other. And I'm telling you, nobody's winning 11 games this year. I'd say I'm still thinking 9 wins. I'm telling you, I feel it. I got this feeling. I got a feeling this is going to get bad, go so bad. Oh, it's going to go so bad, so wrong, so quick. The Giants, Blackbird says, could be the wild card team. They could be. If the secondary plays up to expectations, your biggest issue right now is going to be stopping the run in your linebackers. When Abdul Carter potentially is your third best linebacker on this team, you're screwed. But if you generate enough of a rush, if you have some semblance of having 2 defensive ends who have the foresight to set the edge and hold their assignment against the run, and you steer teams back into Dexter Lawrence, you could have an opportunity. Not a crazy opportunity, but you could have an opportunity. Jersey Guy says, Tim, your synopsis of what leads to dismantle the fertilization of the Giants and what leads to the dismantle and retention of what would lead to what would lead to dismissal or retention? Okay. 0-8. Dable's fired. 0-8. Dable's gone. Shane stays. I still think this is what's going to happen. Shane stays to year 5. Dable gets fired. If you win 4 or 5 games and you play Russell Wilson almost the entire season, Dable's getting shook hands. If you win, Dable has to win like 8 games to keep his job either way. There's an opportunity that Dable could be fired by Thanksgiving, but you have to win at least 8 games for Dable to keep his job. The Eagles will win again, but the Washington Commanders have a chance to win. Let's see if we do not have a slump by Jaden Daniels, because the talent level is going to go up this year in reference to play. Jalen Hurts needs a ton of supporting cast and structures to be competent, but he's got aura. Blackbird says, won't win the NFC. They will regress. I have Dallas beating them opening night. I'm telling you, Dallas is the wild card, but so are the Giants. Giants' biggest flaws are going to be the offense. On offense, it's going to be the offensive line, the uncertainty at times at quarterback, because the minute that Russell Wilson has a bad game, everyone's going to be clamoring for Jackson Dart or Jameis Winston. Any interception, this guy, is that Johnny Rico I see? Is that Johnny Rico? Johnny Rico, man, I haven't seen you forever. Is that Johnny Rico? Telling you. Let's see here. Did the Eagles OPP the Giants with the Giants players? I don't know, but you know me. Mark Ryan, what's up, Mark? Where you been? Eagles will soar in another divisional win. They might. So let's start a betting pool. Which game will Mara fire out Dable? Thanksgiving. If anything, he's going to get fired on Thanksgiving. In other news, the Mets can't stop losing all of a sudden. Oh, my God. I had a thing with James Williams a couple of weeks ago saying, well, at least we have the Mets. And he was like, well, at least we have the Mets. And I thought that was a kiss of death because the Knicks just lost. What's up, Self-Love 101? How you doing? Everything's doing good here. Davey says, New York Giants like the girl from Spaceballs. There's a new Spaceballs coming out. Trent says, Aura doesn't trump talent, but it enhances it. Aura is basically confidence that projects outward on people, especially teammates. Okay, who has aura to the point that it helps enhance their talent? What player's talent is Carlos Mendez. Yeah, he's on the hot seat. What talent in aura? Tell me which player. An NFL player, not an NBA player. Jersey Guy says, aura is a perception, talent is action. We're applied to our sons. Give us the talent. Aura is speculative. Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's speculative. James says, I'm passing the phone. I understand what the Giants are doing. They have all these young players and they're trying to appeal to the younger fan base, but I'm going to clue the Giants in on something. And I can't be too mean. I can't be too mean to the Giants right now because I got something going on. But I can't be too mean to them yet. unless they fuck me, then I'm just gonna throw shit to the wind, and then you stumble. No, I'm gonna be mean. But here's the thing. I understand what they're doing. I get it. They are appealing to the younger fan base, but the problem is this. These younger fans don't buy season tickets. They get their tickets from StubHub, from Vivid Seats, from all these other places. They don't buy season tickets. Mark, Allen Iverson, we talking about Aura with my Julio Jones? Yeah, but Julio Jones and Allen Iverson all had immense talent. Aura had nothing to do with their talent. They had immense talent. But Brett Favre, who has Aura, was also an immensely talented figure who was a league MVP and a Super Bowl winner. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Aura had nothing to do with it. I want to know a player who has Aura, who helps transcend his talent to make him better. It's like saying Jesus has Aura. Well, yeah, of course he does. He's Jesus. Think of it that way. You know, did one of the apostles have Aura? No, Jesus has Aura. So you can't tell me that the best quarterback in the league had Aura. James Williams says, our cheerleaders are certain giant contestant creators. Low, not Tim. Content creators are, yeah, it is. Mark Ryan says, beyond talent is the tough one. But that's the thing. You can't tell me you have Aura unless you can tell me what the Aura trend. Jack Stewart laying like this with his head back in the film. Yeah, look at me, dudes. Okay. How was that Aura? When a Philadelphia Eagle clobbers him, does that knock the Aura out of him? Everyone has Aura in June. He gave me the I can't win games no matter what vibes. Who did? Peyton. Brandon Jacobs didn't have Aura. Brandon Jacobs was a freak. He was an anomaly. There's a difference between Mark Ryan. There's a difference between an anomaly and Aura. He was an anomaly. He was a 6'4", 6'5", 270-pound running back. Nah, Scataboot is John Riggins. Well, he wears 44, so he might as well be. That's a good one. Wait a minute. Okay. This is a good one. Tim Tebow. I will give you Tim Tebow. Because there is no way in Hades that Tim Tebow should have won some of those games he played in. There was something magical and mystical in that Denver Broncos season with Tim Tebow at the helm after he replaced Brian Griese. There was something magical and mystical then. I will give you that. All right, I will give you that as Aura. Okay, I'll give you that one. Jersey guy said, we used to smell the stench from North Bergen. Hey-oh. Trenton, but they do have great shows. Okay, Trenton Timms, it was the ultimate. Yeah, if you want to take someone for Aura, I will give you Tim Tebow for Aura. I have to give it to you. Trent says absolutely. Giants Among Men says, is that McLovin? Yes, that is McLovin. I just put McLovin out, and I love these because I bought these at a store, and these are great. I bought this at like a bad store. These, and I love it because they talk. Well, that's not a good one. Yeah, it's McLovin. This is so cool. I got McLovin and two other ones. I'm not going to tell you who the two other ones are, but I got McLovin and two other guys. That was great. Thundercats or He-Man? No, that's easy. Thundercats. Thundercats are on the roofs. Dax over Jaden, you're crazy. No, I'm saying, Jake, for a season. I'm not saying for a career. There will be a slump by Jaden Daniels. I'm hoping it's week 1, but there will be a slump. And it's going to be because we've talked about this a million times before. The league has film on Jaden Daniels. They understand his tendencies. They understand fully what his capabilities are when you keep him in the pocket because of the rib injury. There will be a time with Jaden Daniels that you will see that he will take a step back. He's not going to Daniel Jones regress, but he's going to regress. No, I'm not giving you. I can't give you Michael Vick because Michael Vick again was immensely talented. First overall pick, first like true. I mean, Michael Vick was the first true. Now, like Bobby Douglas, like going back even to the Bears and people like that, even Vince Evans going back to the Raiders. But no, he was the true running quarterback, the true first running quarterback. I know Fran Tarkenton, but Fran Tarkenton was more of a scrambler. Yeah, 9 wins with cringe Russ. We're cooked. Yeah, I know that. James, where the party at? It's always here. T-Brad says, I think the Giants will win 3, and that's all. I'm still saying 5-6. I'm still saying 5-6. And like I said, just let's just think about this for a minute though. As we're hit the let's all ponder like Christian ponder as we hit the like button. Oh, we have been hitting the like button. Good job, guys. We have been hitting the like button. All right. Ow. That's my broken thumb. It doesn't work all the time. My name is Jersey, but I'm from PA. That's why we're calling you Kensington. Neil Lomax, man. Yeah, everyone forgets about Neil. Everyone forgets about Neil Lomax. Neil Lomax to Roy Green. Stump Mitchell. O.J. Anderson. E.J. Henderson. No, E.J. Jr. E.J. Henderson was on the Vikings. They had some players, though. James Stein said the Giants go in 5 minimum, 7 max. That's if everyone plays at the highest levels of expectations. End of story. I'm just saying. Listen, I'm just telling you guys. Don't shoot the messenger. I look at the breakdown of the schedule. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I look at the breakdown of the schedule. Your first 6 games as a Giant fan are paramount. You need and if you go 3-3, it means you took a divisional game as well. So what you need to have to think about this for a second, it means you took a divisional game, which means that you have to then turn around. Find the aura. You then have to turn around and find something special to make you go 6-5 in the last 11. Then you got a shot. You got a chance. James says, I want to win the games 2 against Dallas. Yes, so do I. Jay Ferris says, I went to the OG Transformers movie in the 80s and made my dad take me. You got the look. You got the power. After all is said and done, you never walk, you never run. You're a winner. You know the moves, you know the streets. You're nobody's fool. You're at your best when the going gets tough. You're put to the test, and it's never enough. I don't know, Jay. I never saw that movie. Or get you one win from Johnny Rico. Therefore, the Giants will be a 3-win team. Mark Ryan says, I think the whole division will come back to earth. Yeah. I'm telling you this, guys. I'm telling you this right now. This is a 9-win division. People look at this Giants schedule and say, we're screwed. But don't forget, the Eagles, the Commanders, and the Cowboys basically have the same schedule. Outside of the two games with the Giants, they have the same schedule. It's not going to be a cakewalk for anyone. I'm telling you guys now, 3-3. You go 3-3. It could get interesting. The only way the Giants post 7 wins if the defense plays lights out and top 3. No, they don't have to be top 3 level. I'm going to tell you this right now. The Giants have to be a top 15 defense. You're a top 15 defense, and you have to have a top 20 offense. You can't be 23rd. You got to be a top 20 offense. That's what I'm telling you right now. Carlos Mendoza, yeah, he's on the hot seat. Jay Sports Card says, I heard the Ghost Brothers are now invisible, even rushing over. What's up, Kobe? Haven't seen you in a while. Kobe also says, I'm ready for college football 26 and Madden 26. I've been texting Big Don. Big Don and I have been texting about this game, the 26 game, since like, I don't know. I mean, literally, we have been literally texting about this game for like weeks. And then he sent me today. He goes, the smaller schools will be harder to rebuild than college football 26 and 25 due to the roster retention challenges. And like I said, Yeah, he's been sending me the shit. I mean, like I said, we've been doing the videos on this stuff for like I said, literally our entire text messages are just the football, are just football. So I mean, it's pretty funny. Davey says Lawrence Taylor at Aura didn't have anyone that had he didn't need to have Lauren. He was the greatest player in the league. Might as well bring back Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman. That's not right. Jennifer says you kind of feel like you're just selling PSLs like last year, the 100th season, and the things with the red herring. Total scam. At the Giants this year, I think they spent all their money last year on those boxes because we're getting shit this year. You got a selection of 3 things. One was a pitcher with the Super Bowl trophies. 2 was a white giant football. And 3 was like a pennant. That's your rally pack this year. This is that's your season ticket rally pack this year. I looked at that, I was like, wow. I was like, I already took my picture with the Super Bowl trophies. I got plenty of footballs, and I don't need any more pennants. But thank you. But they're like, but thank you, Tim, for giving us all this money. Andre Rison had more aura than talent. Sorry. Oh, no. Andre there was a period of time that Andre Rison was the best wide receiver in the entire league. This guy still had over 10,000 yards. There was a period from 90, I would say 91 or 92 to about 94, where he was the best wide receiver in the league. Again, aura cannot equate if you're the best at something. RFFD, he made it. What's up, brother? How you doing? He had Left Eye Lopez, and she burned down his house. J Sports Cards has Joe Burrow. No, I can't give you Jay Burrow. I can't give you Joe Burrows because Joe Burrow's aura happens to be he's one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league. Aura needs in some ways transcend your talent. And even without aura, think about it. Without aura, some of these guys you guys have mentioned are going to be just as good. Dominique Marges-Cromartie. I think it's more moxie. I think that's more swag than aura. Let's see here. I hope he reads the Tim Tebow comment. I did read the Tim Tebow comment because I think you're 100% right. I think Tim Tebow is the quintessential. James and T, where are you guys at? Here you go. I'm putting the chat in the link. I can't stay on overly late this evening because I have an early interview tomorrow morning. I like I said, this new interview thing is that this interview shit, it's all new to me. So, but this interview tomorrow, I'm not saying who until it's done, but this interview tomorrow morning to me is epic. This is literally, and then I have another interview on Tuesday, which is good, which is really good. But this one on Monday, if it goes through and it's already scheduled, could be an epic interview for this channel. So I'm very excited. Other people may not be, but I'm very excited about it. Someone said it earlier, Tim Tebow, the aura shined over. That's 100%. That Tim Tebow is a huge aura. James Stein says, yes, LT did have aura and he played like it too. LT played like he was the best player out there because he was. I think Tim Tebow is the answer. So please to God, don't tell me that we're saying that Jackson Dart's Tim Tebow. Please don't tell me that. RF says our defense, I think our base defense should be a 5-4. My issue is without a good second middle linebacker, we're going to get gashed in the short passing situation. Jumbo Packers will push us around unless the linebackers get better. You have 3 undersized edge rushers that can't play the run. And people are like, well, Tim, how do you know that Abdul Carter can't play the run? 25.7%, which was his missed tackle percentage in his second season at Penn State. Parsons right now, if you want to put him at the mic, is going to be like OGR says, is going to be probably the best player in the league. but he has other assets, the other things that he can do. OGR Sports likes to bring up the fact that Parsons, his freshman season at Penn State, led the league with led his team with 82 tackles and didn't start a game. There's a little bit of aura with that. What the fuck you got? Speaking of Ryan Henderson, I love it because I'm gonna have to get a mini Giant hat.
How we doing?
Right? What the hell are you outside?
Yeah, I'm in the yard.
I have to laugh, Ryan, because he's right.
I was thinking.
I didn't. Oh my God!
Take the glasses away.
I can't. They're stuck to his head. But hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. He's got like a nick on him now. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! It's Ryan Henderson. Ryan Henderson of Ryan's Big Blue Podcast.
Only Jay Ferries could see that.
Oh my God, Jay, you just nailed that. Oh my God, that is too freaking funny. It is Ryan Henderson. Why does he got a nick on his? Oh, because he's got a cut in his face in the TV on the movie. Yeah, I know that now. Wicca, what? Oh my God. I have to get these glasses off because of our next channel. I got to get these off
For Giants Generations.
Giants Generations. I gotta take that. Hold on, we gotta go through all these comments. So Davey says Kathy Ireland had aura and necessary roughness. Okay, I can't give you that one either. Jeremy Shockey had aura. Did Jeremy Shockey have aura?
I'm not a big fan of the word aura, but I mean,
come on, you're young. You're supposed to be a big fan of the word aura.
Shockey did have aura.
Okay, so Shockey had aura. I don't know if I give you. I would say Bavaro had more aura than Shockey.
I'm more of a fan of Bavaro, actually.
I think Shockey had more swag, more cockiness than.
Yeah,
aura.
he was tougher.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that. Cody says Giants win 8 to 9 games this year.
I agree with 8.
I'm still saying this, Ryan. I've been saying this forever. I've been saying this for I don't know how long. I got great fucking hair, but I'm saying this also. The Giants in the first 6 games, you go 3-3. You then have to go 6-5 in the last 11. It's doable.
Yeah, and it's gonna come down to the defense and how if they could be top of the league. I know people say the offense, but I mean, the defense is just gonna have to dominate, win them games.
RFFD says it best. Worst case scenario, Giants 3. Likely case scenario 5-6 wins. Best case scenario 8 to 9.
I think
I hold on. I have to ask Ryan's from Ryan's Big Blue Podcast. Ryan, what do you think, Ryan? Okay. What else, Ryan? Okay, but that's your new name. That's your name. James, I'm bringing you on with McLovin.
McLovin?
Tell me this does not look like Ryan.
No, we're not doing that to Ryan. You can't do that. Yo, that looks like the dude from Revenge of the Nerds, actually.
I didn't do it to Ryan. Ryan did it to himself. Ryan, James, you're wearing a Mets hat.
Of course I am. Queens.
Why are you wearing a Mets hat? What happened to you? You lose a bet?
Stop that. You don't jump off the ship because it's got a couple leaks.
We've said it once on this show. We've said it twice. We've said it a million times. You go back to the early 80s with the Knicks, with Michael Ray Richardson, when the Knicks all of a sudden hit this huge skid, and the reporter asked Michael Ray, "What's going on, Michael?" And Michael looked at the camera and said, "The ship be sinking." That's all I can literally think about. You lost. We lost 12-1 to the Pirates.
Word.
That's pretty bad.
To the Pirates.
Word. Hey man, we're Pirates too. Remember, we got the booty chest. So hey, Pirates.
Right.
It's a thing. It's a thing this summer.
The treasure chest.
We got the
treasure chest. Thank you, Big Ryan.
Everyone hits the like button as well, please. I know, for those that do not know, the onlineBigBlue.com channel is back. So make sure everyone goes and checks that out. You can check out all the podcasts, all the videos. Also, I'm back to writing articles again. So there's there's a great article coming out tomorrow that discusses why Malik Neighbors did not have any yak in 2024.
I gotta read that one. Yeah, I'm gonna read that one.
You're gonna
That
have
one-
to read that one. Actually, I think it's up now.
Yeah, it looked interesting. I was about to.
I think it's up now. So make sure here. I'm gonna put. You know what I can do? I could type it into the chat. So James, what's going on, my brother? What have you been doing?
Just doing some summer cleaning, bringing out some more shorts and stuff. Getting ready for some beach escapades.
When you
Doug got a new beach chair today for the missus. She likes it, so as long as she's happy wife, happy life.
James, we have been talking about aura for the New York Football Giants. We've been talking about aura.
I'm passing the phone to Big Ryan.
I'm passing the phone to Big Ryan. We're passing the phone, but we've been chatting about aura, and I just don't see it. I don't understand it. I don't understand how people are laying their hat on we are going to be better because we're going to be aura-rific.
It doesn't make you better. But Dart just, and I'm not a big aura fan, but Dart just looks like there's no way this guy could be bad, right?
No, he's going to be bad.
No, I'm saying like the, and I hate the word, but the aura he gives off, like there's no way he's going to end up not great. He's going to end up like Joe Burrow. Just look at the aura. There's someone.
All right, so
come on, man.
They always say that youth is wasted on the young. Jersey guy says my mother from Devonshire, England, gives her best to Tim and James. Sorry, I had to comment. I told her I had to comment. My apologies. No worries.
Shout out to Mom Dukes.
I Jersey guy's mom. Are you done now? Ryan, are you done now? Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you done being stupid?
I knew that. I had to do that.
Okay. I just had to check. Say hi to Jersey guy's mom from Devonshire, England. Hey, do you know? Ask her if she knows Dom. Well, wait. Say, Mom, do you know Dominic Palmer?
England's kind of big, Tim.
No, everyone knows everyone in England. That's like a rule. You didn't know this? It's like a rule.
Kind of a big place.
No, it's not. It's like Connecticut. Let's see here. Cody says he's ready for some training camp battles. Tyrone Tracy and Shady McCoy interview was awesome. James, I did not see that interview. Did you see that interview?
I did not see that, but I will say that sounds like it could be a good one, honestly. Tyrone Tracy with Shady McCoy. Shady McCoy is a lively, colorful guy. Tyrone Tracy's young, looking to improve on his first year. So, you know what? I think that might be worth checking out. I didn't see anything about it, though.
Ryan, I love Jay Ferry says Ryan's Big Blue Podcast bobblehead in the background is insane. I love the McLovin. I love. Oh, let's see. Razzle the Great says aura is for video games and housewives who think Stone aligns with. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. See that? Carl Banks.
It's.
Go ahead.
My fault. It's scary. You know what this is reminding me of? I'm hoping, and I don't know if Big Ryan, if you're old enough to remember this, but that's why we have YouTube. But this is reminding me of the Sprite commercial with Grant Hill and the kid's watching Grant Hill dunk, and he's like, "That's Grant Hill," and he's like, "Oh, I could be just like that." And he sees Grant Hill drink the Sprite, so he drinks the Sprite, and then he grabs the ball and he runs down and he spazzes as he's trying to dunk like Grant Hill, and it just reminds me of like this. Image is nothing, kids. Image is nothing.
When you said Sprite commercial, I thought you were gonna go like the LeBron James Sprite Cranberry or whatever it was. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, no. I don't even remember. I think I know what you're talking about with the Cranberry, but the one with Grant Hill, that's a classic, man. It's just about like image is nothing. You could look tough, you could look cool. It doesn't mean it's going to mean to play on the streets or on the field.
See, I can't give Joe Montana aura.
No, Joe Montana had aura because he was Joe Cool.
But that's not aura.
They're misconfusing what you mean.
Think about this for a minute. Aura usually means it carries you. You have this glow about you. You're Bruce Leroy. You've reached that upper level in your mind, body, and soul are one. There have been plenty of times that Joe Montana, especially with the Giants, he got the aura knocked the fuck out of him. Just ask Jim Burke and Leonard Marshall. There was no aura.
Shout out Jersey guys, by the way. I just saw one of their comments about Big Blue Podcast. So shout out Jersey guys.
Where's Jersey guys? Let's see.
Aura is something, y'all, that comes even before we see you play, before we see you do anything. It's like soon as you walk into the room, it's like we feel it. You know, it's like this mystique. It's not the guys like Tim was saying. Like when you can actually play, and we know you can play, and then you're doing stuff like that's not the same. It's like the Tim Tebow thing. I'm trying to really think really hard of a guy. It's probably not going to be try to think of across all sports where the aura was so big that it outshined the play on the field or on the court or on the rink. Who?
Tim Tebow.
Brian Scalabrine. Celtics.
Okay, did someone say Ghost?
Yeah, I go for it, Ryan. You had to get one. Brian Scalabrine, like we know who that is, but nah, I go for it. You had to get Wonka for that one, brother. Brian Scalabrine.
Let's see.
We love you, man.
Do they audible and run straight at the? You run. Listen, if it's 3rd and 4 and I'm an opponent, if 3rd and 4, I'm the Eagles against the Giants. I'm not passing. I'm running just because there's no reason to pass. If I'm the Cowboys, I might pass because I don't like the running game.
Yeah.
If I'm Washington, I like what's his name. I love that Brian. What's his name? Brian. I can't remember his last name.
Scalabrine.
I like the running back. I'm running. I'm running.
I would love to know a stat on how many times teams actually ran on us versus pass last year on 3rd and 4 and less.
Victor Cruz. I can't say Victor Cruz had aura. Mark Messier. If I had to go to a different sport, Mark Messier did have aura. He had talent, and he had, especially in that season, he did have something special.
You know what? Oh, you know what's a good example? The Jeremy Lin 2-week phenomenon.
Because most people forget that 2 weeks.
Linsanity.
Linsanity.
I think that's what I think, and that's why it's a good example because his aura, because you know when he came along, an unknown player, basically about to get cut, and then he had one of his biggest games against Kobe on ESPN, and you know, and being Asian and everything, like his aura amassed him higher than what his play really amounted to on the court. Because people forget. Everybody gets mad about, oh, the Knicks should have did this, the Knicks should have did this. Well, he got a contract in Houston, and what did he do? He was on the Toronto Raptors team that won the championship on the bench.
Yep.
So he had a big aura that was bigger than his play on the court. I think Linsanity, that's a good one, Big Ryan. I think that's the best one after Tebow.
Yeah, I like that one.
Johnny Rico here says Neighbors is going to have Yak this year. Russell may be washed up, but he can toss the rock. The manners that gives receivers some daylight. I'm going to put the article in the link right now. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now for the article because the article is up today. And go, Johnny Rico, go read the article. Because the article really, what I wrote today kind of really explains what I'm talking about regard. Someone's got feedback here. Someone's got feedback. I don't know who it is, but someone. Ryan, I think you might have a little feedback. Hey, Ryan, let me drop you out for a little bit because I'm getting something from your end over there.
Yeah, I gotta go going anyway, so I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Ryan.
All right, bro.
All right.
How about yourself a good night, Mr. And I'll bring the bobblehead later. Ryan Henderson from Ryan's Big Blue podcast. But go read the article because that'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Because there's so many things. I'll read it. Thank you, Johnny Rico. There's so many things in that article that I wrote about that kind of breaks down what really happened with the Yak. And there was actually a little bit of research that went in, and I don't research shit, but there was a little bit of research that went into the James. Like,
he doesn't mean that, kids.
Yeah, it does. Everyone that knows me goes, yeah, it does. Because I literally even go into his route depths, his offensive line issues, the quarterback instability, I literally go into all that and break it down with the difference between Lad McConkey and Brian Thomas Jr. So we talk a little bit about it. So make sure you go and check it
Yeah,
out.
go check that out, y'all.
Ricky
Tim actually writes pretty good.
I write pretty well.
See, there you go. See, there you go. Right on cue.
Right, I had to, man. I had to. James, how many wins will Aura get us?
6, maybe 7, 6 to 7.
Does the Aura preclude? I mean, does the Aura add how many? Okay. So you're saying, I mean, how many wins do you think the Giants are going to have next year?
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying 6 to 7 total.
Okay, so you're saying 6 to 7 total. That's how many times.
Yeah.
So how many wins are you going? If there is a lack of aura, how many of those wins are you going to subtract?
If there's a lack of aura, I'm going to take off. I want to say 2. I got to take off 2 automatically, maybe a third. So you're down now. You're down to like 4. You know, like I'm hoping that. Here we go. You know,
I forgot about the pirate.
Everybody in the chat, wherever you are, so your family looks at you crazy, like, why are you growling at your phone?
Because they found the pirate flag. I found the Aura flag. Eli Manning 2007 Super Bowl had Aura. No, Eli Manning 2007 had a David Tyree helmet catch. That wasn't Aura. That is called Luck of the Irish.
Yeah, you know, and Eli, because his last name is Manning, and because he already had a thing coming out of Ole Miss long before 2007. That's why people were so hard on him the first couple of years. Like, so,
right?
Nah. Like, you know what? I would say, I don't know if this Johnny Manziel, where his play like kind of wasn't all that, but his everything else just seemed to like we were talking about everything, but you know.
Yeah, I could give you Johnny football in college.
Okay, Johnny Manziel in college.
I could give you Johnny Manziel. I can give you Johnny Manziel in college. James looks like he's Mr. Glass out there. From the
that's what the Mets look like. You're right, Jay.
We lost 12-1 to the Pirates.
Honestly, the only thing I could say, honestly, for the Mets is, number one, if you're a real Mets fan, you've seen collapses before. But I will say the thing about this one is at least we built a little bit of a cushion so that when we stumbled like this, it wasn't like we stumbled out of contention, you know?
But the problem was we were up by like 5 or 6 on the Phillies, and we're down a game and a half.
No, I mean, listen, we were number 1 in the National League, and then as soon as we hit that,
we were up by like 6 games, or 5.5 games on Philly, and now we're down a game and a half.
I'd rather them have the swoon now than in like 2 months from now, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Big Greg saying, "Big T, what's up, Big Greg? How you doing? What's up, Big James?"
Big Greg, what up, brother?
Greg coming out. Greg coming all the way in late. Not late as in late. I mean late as in it's late what time it is in by him. It's 5 hours ahead. I think it's 5 hours ahead. I can never.
Oh yeah, that's right. I can always forget that about Big Greg.
Yeah, he's always out there with his aura. I got nothing else, James. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Well,
I gotta get up early tomorrow. 3:30 his time. That's what time it is.
Let me just chime in because I'm sure people in the chat appreciate this. Your real cult, or the real people from the cult here. That and you touched on it at the beginning, but I have to say it again. That how funny is it that Carl Banks of all people come straight off vacation, straight off the yacht, gonna sit here and go, you know, guys are blowing a lot of hot wind out here. I hope it turns into something. Like how just great is that?
How insane was that?
That was amazing. That was great. That was amazing to see that.
And then did you were you around when I read the other post that he followed up with about the defensive lineman basically should be average against the run?
Oh no, the second one. Yeah, no, I forgot about the other one. I forgot to check up on that one. But the first one I loved it.
Crazy though. But he followed up with this second one, and I'm like, Who are you?
He's a guy that knows defense.
Here we go. He goes, he's talking about the 86 team and his players. He goes, the distinction is that we were true linebackers with true diverse skill sets. These guys are more specialists. They do one thing well. My group did everything they asked us exceptionally well. Edge players should excel rushing the passer, should be above average versus the run.
Do you know what's going on too? And this is the thing where, again, we're turning into the hype train. We laugh at Dallas, but we've actually been copying Dallas as far as the hype train the last 5-6 years with the fan base. But you know what's happening with Big Carl? He's seeing all the stuff that people and fans and the media are saying about, oh, this is the most vaunted, this is the NASCAR, and these guys are so amazing, and they're so talented, and Kayvon, and this and that. And he's probably sitting there going, I played with a couple guys that they were actually really amazing. And they went out there and proved it.
I played with a couple Hall of Famers.
He's probably sitting there thinking listen, I know time always moves forward. It's undefeated. The younger generation got to come make their footholds. I get it, but you got to actually go out there and show and prove.
Yeah.
You sitting up here asking for jersey numbers and all this stuff. Like a guy like Carl Banks, and he has the hardware to actually be like, when he says something like, you know what, guys, why don't we go out here and prove it? Instead of all this overhype, like, let's see what we got. Because again, like he said, a defense that was ranked with 27th.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden we're going to jump all the way to the top 5.
Now we're going to have a third top defensive line in the league. We were 27th last year. We're going to have a third best.
Okay, guys. And it's funny because that's just what we say here.
That's what I'm saying. But for him to literally call that out, Johnny Rico says Banks would be really interesting if he wasn't on the Giant payroll. I'm waiting to see what happens in August.
I think it's going to be interesting, the fact that he is on the Giants payroll and he's been watching everything going on. And then if these guys come out and they're not everything that we've been pumping them up to be, I actually think the opposite, Big Rico, that it's going to be the fact that he is on the Giants payroll. And if he's going to speak more from the chest, I'll say it's going to be quite interesting.
I do remember that Carl Banks did held out 4 times, even as a rookie, he threatened to go play in Canada. I do remember that. That's actually a very good point, Jay Ferris. But my thing is this. I don't know how long we're going to have Carl on in August. I don't know what our time limit's going to be. But I have a plethora of questions, James. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to get to all the questions I have. I don't even think we're going to do an introduction. I'm just going to be like, Carl Banks, now here's my questions.
You got to get some.
Do you think he answers the questions? Because I know he went on, or he's been on a couple other content creators, but I never watched it. So I don't know what questions they asked. But do you think I'm going to rephrase this. Do you think he will answer my questions?
Yes, because when in Rome, you do as the Romans. And to your point, he has been on other shows, but those aren't your show. And I think Carl Banks knows coming on here that this is going to be a little bit more direct in certain areas, not disrespectful, not over the top. He has been on other shows, but those aren't your show.
I don't know where
I think Carl Banks knows coming on here that this is going to be a little bit more difficult in certain areas.
What the hell's going on here? Okay, that was feedback. That's what we like to refer to as feedback.
That was scary.
That was pretty scary. But what does Jay Ferris says? Jay says, yeah. If Banks went on Tim's show, it would be a defense attorney devastating life. He's coming on.
He is.
Jay, he is coming on the show in August. This is confirmed. Not only through multiple DMs, but this is confirmed. Even he has posted it on Twitter that he's coming on. And it's not going to be like, I don't think we're not going to be picking on him, but we are going to ask him, and I'm going to have you on. I'm going to have T-Brad on. We are going to ask him actual football questions that are not going to be these cookie cutter questions that, Like Carl, you be Carl Banks. I'll be Tim. I'll be one of the other content creators. Carl, the team looks good this year. If they don't win 10, will they win 11?
No, they're going to win 12.
See, there you go. That's not what we're going to ask. We're not asking that shit. We're not asking that. We're asking real questions. Like,
And he knows that.
I have a question for him right now, and I'm going to throw it out there so he can prepare. When you said on the radio that the Giants are officially broken, and then you backtrack from that statement after the game, what changed? See, that's not a bad question. That's an honest assessment.
No, but again, I think he is going to be prepared because he understands. First of all, the fact that he just said what he said in his post, I think maybe he may be open to a little bit more realism.
I think he is.
Let's look at it that way.
I don't know who Madeline Burke is. Is it Madeline Burke? I don't Jersey guys, I don't know who that is. So yeah, she can come on. Carl J. Ferris says Carl's talked to McFadden for 3 minutes and made him a better tackler. Oh, that was fucked up.
That's funny. That's good. That's actually really good. That's too good.
Oh, so Madeline Burke is a Giant reporter. You need Bob Papa on. Bob Papa's never coming on here.
Nah, that's a different can of beans.
That's a different can of worms, beans, buffaloes, and everything else. I am doing a segment on YouTube, and I'm calling it. It's been called Rivals Review, where I have different either broadcasters or former players discuss either the Commanders, the Eagles, or the Cowboys. And I have a guy that's going to discuss the Cowboys. Hasn't been completely confirmed yet. And if it does, it'll happen this week. Okay. That is going to blow people's minds.
Oh,
so, I mean, and like I said, we got a great interview that's going to go out tomorrow, but the Cowboy one, and if I get it confirmed, is going to be people will be bowing down, James, to the Jolly Roger over here, because they'll be like, "There's no way that could have happened," and like I said, I think it's going to happen. So make sure you stay tuned for that one as well. But yeah, Bob Papa, it's better than Bob Papa. So that's all I'm going to say. Jersey guy says you guys need to get Sauce with Bob Papa on the air. Bob Papa likes to drink on the air. I'll drink on the air if he wants to come on. James, what do you think?
Bob's not coming.
What do you think? What do you think the odds of Bob Papa coming on?
But if you had Bob Papa on, that would be the equivalent of having like a barbecue with the in-laws who don't like each other, and you're sitting at the picnic table there just. So, been hot, huh? Yeah, hot.
I mean, yeah, I don't see it.
No, he's not coming yet. That's like, it's funny because you just asked a question about how would you feel, like, do I think Carl would answer? And I do think Carl's going to be receptive, but Bob Papa, no. He's going to be like Frank Costello on the stand. He ain't saying nothing.
What if he's shocked? What if he's shocked? But first of all, what do I think the percentages of Bob Papa coming on are? That's what I think. When that freezes over, that's when Bob Papa's coming on. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Even though we're both on the Believe Network.
Nah, it's just listen.
We're both okay. Big mucks on the Believe Network.
It's okay in life just to tell the kids, no, that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Santa Claus is never going to meet the Easter Bunny. Sorry, it's not going to happen.
Why does Bob Papa not like you? We've told the story many times. James was there. Technically, it's James's fault.
No, no,
But
no, no,
Papa does not like me.
no.
Yes.
Technically, he didn't like you before that. He just had a face to put to the thing that he didn't like when I was there. So you actually already made him not like you prior. I just happened to be there. I just happened to be there for the confirmation of, oh, that's the SOB I
If
don't
you
like.
wouldn't allowed me to have done what I did, he would still like me.
No. You already started that train, and I just hopped on the end and was like, oh, this is the direction we're going.
Long story short, Jersey guy, I went to the town hall with James a couple years back when Daniel Jones just had the Renaissance season, signed the contract, and I lied and I got up to the mic and I lied and I said I wanted to ask Kayvon Thibodeau a question and I asked Daniel Jones a question and set Daniel Jones off like a baby and started holding his stomach, rocking back and forth. We've shown the video before, and then Bob Papa stops me and goes, "Who are you?" And of course, I tell people who I am because I don't lie. So I just told them I'm Tim from Online Big Blue, a giant YouTube content creator. And Bob looks at me and goes, "I've gone at it with you on Twitter." And he goes, "What's your Twitter handle?" I'm like, "Online Big Blue 1." You and I we've argued on Twitter. Now, mind you, I don't follow Bob Papa on Twitter. So I never wrote anything to Bob Papa. So evidently he thinks I was somebody else. So I didn't think anything of it after James, made me go up and ask that question. So I would say like a couple weeks later, like 4 weeks later, I'm in the Giants offices because I'm at the rookie symposium, and Bob is down at the end of the hallway at the Giants offices. There are these glass walls and all this, and the long hallways, and they echo a little bit. You saw a little bit of it on Hard Knocks. So being me, I was like, "Hey, Bob." He gave me the nastiest look, did this, and turned around and walked away. And I was with Big L, and Big L looks at me and goes, "He really doesn't like you."
You left out the part at the town hall event that we were at when you announced who you were, that a third of the crowd booed instantly. Forget Bob Papa. A third, probably a little less, but a third of the crowd.
I would say it was more than a third of the crowd.
A third of the crowd literally was like, "Oh, you're that guy's boo, boo. You're not a fan. He's not a real fan."
I forgot about that.
Don't leave that. Forget about Papa. We're at there with giant season ticket holders and longtime fans. Talk about guys old. And he announced who he was, and they guys said, "Who is he? Boo! Get the tar and feathers."
Yeah, right when I said my name, I got booed.
Yes. And I'm there, also one of the few black people there in the room. But I'm there and I'm like, "Oh, I'm with the guy none of these people like, including the guys on stage." That's great.
You forget the part after I finish. Now you have to walk back. So basically it's 3,000 people are there. You have to walk up the back up the aisle to get back to the seat. So I'm walking back up the aisle, and we were in the second or the third row. I don't remember.
Yeah, we're in the front.
We were in the front. So I go back and I'm going to my row. I swear at one point in time, I thought James wasn't there anymore. And then I noticed I was just one row off. And then I go back and I sit down. James looks at me and goes, "You're such an asshole." I was like,
"Yeah," because that was amazing.
One of my best friends calls me an asshole. And I just and I still got to walk out.
That was amazing.
And then the one part I did forget about the rookie symposium, I'm standing in line to get autographs with Tay Banks because Big L wanted to get an autograph and a picture. So I said, "Okay, we'll go." And we're talking, and these three guys behind me are talking. And one of them taps me on the shoulder and he goes, "Are you the guy that got booed at the town hall?" Well, I'm like, "Yes." It's like, "Yes, I am the guy that got booed at the town hall."
Yeah, because that doesn't happen. Nobody goes to a town hall to boo a fan.
Who's a
fan?
Who's a season ticket holder?
That makes it worse.
I am a season ticket holder.
So are they.
Listen, I mean, okay, listen. I mean, this is how close we were to the stage.
Look at those guys. Those are the guys. You got the coach.
Yeah,
you got the brain trust. You got the radio. The voice of the Giants. Like those are the Giants right there.
Those are it.
Minus the quarterback.
Minus the quarterback. He was on the other side after they came through. These are the people who were on stage when I got booed. Bob Papa, Sean O'Hara, Dable, Shane, and Mara. Those were the guys that were there when I got booed.
So basically, y'all, the Giants' brain trust knows who Tim is now. Literally.
I'm surprised I'm allowed in the building. What is that? Oh, that was Daniel Jones at the Coaches Club.
Oh God.
That was that's a bad luck thing. That was at the coach. But
put that away.
They literally, like I said, that's why Bob Papa will never be on the show.
No,
Madeline Burke might be on the show.
Madeline Burke will be on here 2 times before Bob Papa thinks about 1
time. I don't even. Like I said, I would have to find out who she is, but she might be on the show. Yes, I've said this before, and I hold this distinction from every giant content creator on any platform. I am the only one to get booed on Broadway because it was at the Broadway Theater.
Yeah. By your peers at that. Literally by your peers. You can't even say it was like, so no, it was your peers. Other season ticket holders.
Slider, what's up? Because I remember when you got booed, you shrugged it off and hooked up to who they were. That's bull. Oh, listen, you know what? At one point, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm standing there at one point and I'm asking my question. And I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck are we going to get out of here? Because this question could go terribly wrong. And I'm thinking, okay, the exit is all the way back there, and the other exit by us is not open. And I have to go back and get James, and I got to figure out how can we get out of here. So, but don't worry, guys. James, he supported me. Basically, pretended he didn't know who I was.
Well, getting out, I wasn't worried about getting out. I was worried about the fact that you're never going to be let back in anywhere.
But I did. They let me back.
Your name is posted in giant offices of this guy right here. This is his channel. Like with your whole, what do they call it? The tree? They have your whole tree of all your channels, he writes articles too. It's propaganda.
It's like when you go to the bodega and you bounce a check and they put your check and your picture up on the wall. That's what I am right now in the Giants.
That's you sitting there.
That's Bob. That's what I am in Bob Papa's office in the stadium.
I'm telling you, you're a marked man.
But then the funniest shit out of all this is we're both on the Believe Network. I think that is humor. That is God having a sense of humor.
Life is full of irony, kids.
Irony can be pretty ironic. But I think about that all the time because the Believe people call me up all the time and say, well, who do you want on the show? They always give you, say, what is your wish list for guests? And there's a lot of people on the Believe Network. So I gave them a list, and it's funny because I didn't put Bob Papa on the list.
It wouldn't have mattered.
I might ask.
You can ask, but I'm pretty sure. First of all, Bob Papa has a list, and you're on it of people who did not. How about that? Forget your list. Bob Papa has a list of don't ask me to go interview with these guys or for me to interview these guys. Not happening.
Oh my God. No, it's all right. It's all right. It's going to be fine. Bob likes me. We're pals.
Oh no, it'll be fine, but Bob's not coming on it. And you're not going on there.
I did go on there. I went on, people forget. I went on the Believe, the very first Believe YouTube space or Twitter space, whatever the hell it was called. The very first one that Bob Papa and Carl Banks did, I was on.
Yeah, but they didn't know who you were then.
No, they did. Carl Banks invited me on. And and he even called on me to ask a question.
Oh, wow.
And I laughed because Carl Banks actually said some very nice things about me. And I was thinking to myself, well, shoot, I'm gonna snippet this. I'm gonna go back and watch it and snippet it. Take so I can have it, so I can play it on the soundboard. All these nice things that he said. Wouldn't you know? It was their very first broadcast, so they didn't know how to record. So only the 60, 70 people that were there listening heard him say something nice about me and heard my comments. So it's kind of out there in the ether. Did it really happen? I know it really happened, but did it really happen? That's the big question.
Well, you know what? Some of those same people were probably at the town hall event, so you literally reversed their feelings about you.
You're such a dick.
Man, it's true. Some of the people like, hey, Carl said those nice things about him, and this guy's been saying all this stuff about him.
Jersey guy says, you guys are outstanding. More would probably enjoy the program than Bob Papa wine tasting. I didn't get to see the Bob Papa thing when they were cooking or something. I didn't get to see that. I didn't get to fully see that. So I can't tell you. Jay Ferry says, I think we should sign Kyle Rudolph and Jonathan Stewart.
Oh my God.
Don't laugh. Jonathan Stewart may actually come on.
No, that's fine. But when we did that, it was like,
But that's all Bob Papa's fault. Frankly, just
Kyle Rudolph.
They're touched by the hands of God. Who's touched by the hands of God? Let's see here. Best part of the program. Oh, best part of the program is blunt. The best part of the aura of this program is blunt honesty about the current state of affairs with this team. Yeah, we're not good. We could be good, but we're not good. There was someone said, James, that you should have a podcast.
I'd be canceled so fast, and I wouldn't care. I would be canceled faster than Tim's going to get fired from Believe.
I love this. When Jay Ferris says, what is this crew? We got a senior white dude, a black dude spitting facts, and a white kid who's like 13. He's 17. And he's writing.
You got to bring the youth along. Young Padawan, young Skywalker.
We have to have the youth. Thank you. We have to have the youth on. You're right. Bob Papa was wine tasting with Boogie. What a joke.
Boogie no offense. I don't care about Bob Papa tasting wine. I ain't go for it. I don't know. Like, that's cool. Maybe Rachel will care about that. I'll tell Rachel to check out Bob Papa doing a wine tasting. My girl. Yeah, there we go.
Now let's see. We are signing OBJ. Tim, watch. Yeah, okay. I think that ain't gonna happen. I think OBJ is more interested in having that happen than the Giants are having that happen.
Yeah, no, no.
Any chance Cop Izzle or Fireside Giants come on? Well, I think Cop Izzle's still on his lithium. So I don't think that's going to be possible. And I'm not sure who Fireside Giants are.
Those are the two young boys.
Oh, Zach would tell me they're the tennis players. They're the tennis players.
They're kind of good. They probably do play tennis.
No, he said they actually are tennis players.
Oh, hey, listen, I used to play a little tennis, man. Tennis is actually a fun sport.
Are you playing that new version of tennis now too?
What, that pickleball crap? No.
Pickleball, thank you. I was going to call it badminton.
No, I don't know. No. That's not tennis. I don't do that.
Let's see. Jay Ferris says, invite Carl for that Carlton Banks input. Let's get Madeline here. All right. I am going to have the crack staff at Believe reach out to Madeline. And probably not this week, though, because the guy that I work with is on vacation until the 6th. So we will reach out to Madeline. I don't remember Madeline's last name already, but we will reach out to Madeline. Burke. Is it B-U-R-K or is it
K-E? That's the way they spelled it in the chat, I believe.
Or is it, so it's B-U-R-K-E. So it's not B-U-R-K.
Well, listen, Google will fix that for you.
Too lazy. I'm not going to do that. You know that. I'm not going to do that either. I could tell you I could lie and tell you I was going to do it. Seriously, any relationship with Paul DiDonato? I actually turned him down to come on.
Why?
This was like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
no, it was 2 years. It was like 2 years ago because I have met him a couple times because he's always at the Giant games. He's always, because he's there, because he's working. So I met him a couple times there, and I didn't really see anything that was like interesting. I didn't like,
Oh my God, this guy. That's like the worst thing you can say about. He said, "Yeah, I just seemed like a piece of driftwood.
No,
Just nothing there.
no, I meant for
It's just nothing there.
meant for our show.
Oh, sorry.
Ours.
Excuse me.
You think Paul Donato could come onto this show with this crowd and the people that we have on between you and T Brad? And could you imagine Paul Donato with Honey Pot?
Hey, listen, man. Either sink or swim. Sink or swim.
So I didn't think it would be a good fit. We've turned down a lot of people. I've turned down a lot of people just because of the fact that either I didn't like them or I just didn't think I didn't think it would go well.
Sometimes you got to make the call.
Yeah. Now doing network stuff, sometimes you have to do things. I'm not going to say James already. I'm not going to say what interview I had. I'm not going to say what interviews you had to do, but there was an interview. I'm not going to. You guys can figure it out. We're just going to leave it at that. Let's see here. Roy, what's up, Roy? Peace, chat from Indian Land, South Carolina. Late night, but great show. Thank you, Roy. I haven't seen Roy in a long time. Tim, I know, Slider, man. I know you're kidding, man. We got you, Slider. Slider, call the ball. We got you, pal. Don't worry about it. Let's see. It's Fireside Giants isn't the guy. His 17-year-old dad. His dad brought the whole website. Isn't that the kid? I don't know.
It's the two young kids that look like they're in college. That's the best way I can. And like they look like they play tennis, like you said. That's the best way I can describe it. They're nice guys.
Nice guys.
Nice guys.
Mike Too Nice. Really nice guy. And I've had James Spawn. I've had Mike Too Nice on before.
You have.
Good conversation, good good insight into Giant football. But James, would you say that there was a simpatico aura driven relationship when he came on the show?
Well, Mike, everybody has their own personality.
That's what I'm saying.
And and I think when people come on here, we try to get them to quote unquote come out the shell a little bit, and it's like if we were at a bar, we would be the guys like, "Hey man, take this shot." Oh, I don't drink. Take this shot.
Take the shot anyways.
I've been sober for 10 years. Oh,
don't even go there because I got a great story about that. That I had a guy that was sober for 7 years and I made him drink.
Oh, stop. Please stop.
No,
We're going to get canceled.
No, I'm just like, I didn't know he was an alcoholic.
We're going to get canceled. You're going to get canceled. Stop.
I know he was an alcoholic, and I kept this was years ago, and I kept telling him, drink, man, drink this. And then he drank it, and then I got a call from my buddy who was his friend. He goes, do you know he is an alcoholic? And he's been sober for 7 years. I was like, no, and that is probably something you should have told me before you told me to take him to a bar. So.
Well, I will also say, and I can say this because my mother's an alcoholic, that guy should probably have said to you, I don't think we should go there.
Right. I agree. Jay Sports Guard says we know another who won't come on live is his mom's basement is Marshall Green. Which one is Marshall Green, James?
I was trying to do the math in my head before you even looked at me.
I was trying to do the math in my head, and I kept coming up to 11. I can't think I can do that. No, I don't have any relationship with Paul Donato. I just no, yes, we have. I was
going to make a joke.
As Forrest Gump would say, no, sir, we are not relations.
I was going,
yeah, there you go. There for you, James. Fireside Giants. I don't most rainbow. I don't know Fireside Giants, so I don't know if they have a rainbow voice. I can't tell you. Slider said someone predict that we're going to lead the league in sacks. Let's say stop the run. Yeah, I agree. Jay Ferris says, yeah, black people don't play tennis. Sorry, James. Jay,
tell that to Venus and Serena.
Are you hanging out with and Arthur Ashe? Are you hanging out with OGR?
Oh, why? Because no. Listen, I have Asian friends. I have a few of them.
Oh my God. Let's see.
And I like to be let back into Chinatown. Thanks.
No Benigno. Um,
Oh, from the radio?
it's funny.
But he's a Jets fan.
Yeah, it's funny though. We actually have feelers out. And I actually told James about this. We have feelers out to Joe and Steve Summers, the schmooze. So we'll see what goes down with that. Danny Cannell's a dream guest. No. I got a guest. The person that is going to do, if this actually happens, and his people are talking to my people, and if this actually happens, this guest, it is going to be, and they're going to cover the Cowboys. It is going to be such a mindfuck. I mean, you are going. I think I told you. Did I tell you who this guest was, James? I'll tell you off the air if I didn't tell you.
Yeah, no, you didn't tell me.
Oh, I think I might have. I thought I did, but it is going. Giant fans their heads are going to explode.
Okay.
And I'm just, and then we're going to go back to just doing shows once we get in training camp. Fireside Giants said they're leading the league in sacks. Dane Belton is going to do a good job at minicamp because he's catching the picks. Oh, now I know what you're talking about. Okay. Try to get on Plaxico. I don't know how to get a hold of Plaxico. Well, okay. Yeah, Fireside Giants gonna say hi and gain 20 pounds is gonna dominate. Same bullshit. Same thing we heard about Daniel Jones. Let's see here. I thought.
Yo, I gotta say this. Damn, you just reminded me that last comment. Thank you. Who said that? Oh, Jay. Thank you. Fireside did post something about a quote from Hyatt. I love all these Hyatt quotes we're getting where we think this guy was done nothing for years is gonna automatically turn into Victor Cruz. But
because he is in the darkness.
Oh, you said it. He said when you're in the darkness, it has an effect on you, and like you don't know how that's gonna you come out stronger or you come. It's like you're an NFL wide receiver. What darkness are you in?
You're a third round pick. You're still making like $3 million.
You could live the dream of a lot of people and be a star and what darkness I hate that crap. Just to be real, I don't know what's going on, like stuff like that. You want to do the fake? Hey, I'm passing the phone. Hey, you want to do all that stuff? Fine, but when you sitting here and you want to hit with what are you, Aaron Rodgers? I came out of the darkness and now I can see the light because I'm out of the dark. What does that mean?
I'll tell you, darkness. In college, at one point in time, I was living in my car in the middle of winter in the central New Jersey, living off of the big bag, there used to be 99 cents, the big bag of green Hers potato chip and 2-liter bottles of Coke. That was living in the darkness, trying not to freeze when it's like 27 degrees outside.
Yeah, like watching my mother fight alcoholism. That's living in the darkness, fighting darkness.
That's dark.
Like,
Jalen fighting in the darkness is
I don't
catch the fucking ball.
That's one thing we got to be real here, guys. Like with the all right, I get it with the aura and the hype and people want to be excited. That's fine. But when you start saying stuff where it's like, brother, I've watched you play games where the ball was coming and you look like stone hands out there. Ain't got nothing to do with no darkness unless you just can't read the damn playbook.
We got Big Dash and saying Big Dash from Big Dash saying I love the quote from Hyatt. Yes, we're living in the darkness.
No, we know you do, Big Dash. Big Dash is good because Big Dash salute. You know, he's always going to get you hyped, get us excited. You know, he's hyped for the year, and I get it. But I hate that quote, Big Dash.
I can't stand it.
I hate that quote with a passion.
I can't. There's so many people that are actually living in darkness. You're living in darkness because you can't get off the fucking line of scrimmage because you haven't figured out how to use your speed and quickness to get into your routes faster instead of getting bumped. That's your darkness.
Like, come on, brother. Like, it's like you're playing a sport. It's okay. And I get it. He said, like, sometimes if you're trying to hype yourself up, you could just say that to yourself. You don't have to post it. You don't have to tell a reporter. You don't have to. Right. It's okay.
Thoughts on Jeff Wicks from the Gridiron and Two Goofballs? I have been on the Goofball show. And they seem nice.
Yeah.
They seem nice. I like I want to call them New York Revival. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. New York Revival.
I was gonna say, is it that the name?
Huzzah! I got that one right. It's not Giants Revival. I like them.
Like, yeah, like guys, there's a lot of good people out here trying hard. You got Big Ryan coming up,
Yeah.
Big Dash, we know. You know,
Eli from New York Revival. I liked Eli a lot.
New York Revival, Giants Rush. Shout out to them.
Giants
you know,
Rush, thank you. That's the other one.
You know,
Joe?
Giants Rush has been out here.
Yeah.
You know, you've got other channels that have been out here for a while. You know, Authentic and his boy The Beard, who covers the Redskins. I like that because you get a Giants perspective and a Redskins perspective inside the division. You know, so there's a lot of good guys out here who actually care about football and care about the team. You know, then there's the I'm passing the phone.
How funny is it though that I have the voice of the Commanders on? Shouldn't have been on the Authentic and the Beard shows. Because don't they cover that? Don't they cover the Redskins? I mean the Commanders.
Yeah, the Beard's a big Redskins fan.
Yeah,
but that's dope that you had that guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like again, it's good in war. So you guys ever read Sun Tzu, Art of War? I suggest reading it. It's a good read, but
good book.
You want to know what your enemy's thinking. You want to get an idea of what's going on over there. Like, what are they planning? What battle strat? What are they thinking? What do they think? And then what do they think about us?
That's why I go on these other shows because it's a what you call it. I'm infiltrating the enemies.
You got to do that sometimes. You know, it's a good strategy. Hey, real quick.
That's too much effort.
Real quick, sidetrack. Total Knicks talk. What do you think about this crap now that they're going to interview Dawn Staley? Isn't that disrespectful to Dawn Staley and any woman who wants to be an NBA head coach that you're going to run around, interview all these other dudes, and then now 2 weeks later, I'm the 10th person you're going to interview? That's not authentic.
First of all,
I love Dawn Staley. I had a poster on my room, Olympic team.
First of all, she's not going to be the next coach.
No.
Because, I mean, yes, she is a very good college coach.
It would be.
But if you are going to be the trailblazing first women's coach in the NBA, and I'm not saying anything about her, but you have to have a lot more cachet to your name than her. You need to have like 900 college wins. You know, you need to be that woman that used to coach Tennessee for like 18,000.
Oh, Summerall? Not Summerall.
You remember her name? I
forgot her name. I used to love her.
I don't remember. Yeah, but
Pat Summit. Pat Summit.
Thank you. She had like 9,000 college wins and like 4, NCAA trophies. So I mean, that's what you need if you're going to break the glass ceiling in that regards. Because I cannot see a woman right now, unless she is like the pinnacle, being someone coming in as the first female NBA coach, especially not in New York, because I think she had like 4 weeks.
Yeah, and I think it's messed up because again, we're going into this. Whatever coach comes here, we're going into the season with a lot of expectations, and people are gonna, you can't just come here and learn on the fly. And not saying she doesn't know basketball, obviously she does, but I just think it's disingenuous to even throw her name out there now when we didn't hear anything about her before. And now all of a sudden it's like, well, we're running out of options here, guys. Who's left in the barrel?
Yeah.
Right, that's what it feels like.
Let me get through these last couple things because I got to get out of here today because I got to get up early tomorrow to do this interview. Let's see here. Strider says, Chat Sports is lame. They make the stupidest post, waste of time. Let's see here. Marshall Green is cringe. That's Marshall. Marshall Green is Chat Sports. Yeah, he's a fucking idiot.
Oh, that guy.
He's the guy that stands like this. Yes, or he goes this. And yes, the Giants are going to sign Johnny Unitas.
That guy.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
He reminds me of the talking head from MTV.
Big Dash. We got the Big Dash. Big Dash is like, I'm out of here as they're talking about people. I don't want to be involved in this. Don't worry. I always love when people say, you know what it is? I hope you don't lose your edge. Yeah, okay. Jay Fair says, I don't like Authentic at all. Okay. I don't like Marshall Green. I like Mr. Authentic.
I don't like Cop Pizzle.
I don't like Cop Pizzle either. All right. Your opinion, Bobby Skinner.
Nice guy. Seems like, again, I don't know him personally.
He's the guy that got fired.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, and I've said this before. He didn't build anything. The network built it. So all this crying and hooping about he got screwed out of this. No, they offered you to stay. You just didn't want to take the deal. You felt insulted. But talking the John Boy Media built Talking Blank. You didn't. And I've said it before. The fat guy with the glasses, he did like an 11-minute video about what happened. The other guy rambled on for like 3 hours. If you ramble on for like 3 hours, normally it's because of the fact that you are bitter and you have a lot to say to disparage the other people and you're usually not in the right. So that's all I'm going to say.
That's all I'm going to say.
Gotta
love this guy.
That's all I got to say about that. The kid went from the best wide. Yeah, he did. Like I said, I thought he was going to be. I was happy when we took him in the third because I thought they could have took him in the second. Ferris says, Skinner, I thought is super arrogant. Don't care. Yeah, I don't care either. So we're all good. Nick's got to do.
It just seems like a nice guy, but we don't know none of these guys personally. You know,
we don't know these guys. No. Let's see if anyone can do it. Dawn Staley can do it, but I don't think she gets to do it.
They're not going to give it to a Big Dad. It's not a genuine interest, in my belief.
Like I said, if you are going to be the head coach of the Knicks, I mean, what? She coaches at South Carolina. It's been there since 2007 or whatever. It's not like she's coaching at like, I don't know. I don't know what the female basketball would be of Duke. What the equivalent would be, like Duke or Kentucky back in the Calipari days, and
it's still UConn. It's still UConn.
UConn,
you know that.
But she coaches at South Carolina. It's
yeah. But she has helped built that program up. You gotta give her that.
She's been there, yeah. But how many national championships has South Carolina won?
Well, she's won what, 2?
2 or 3.
She's won 2 herself.
No, but how many championships? Well, it don't matter. She won 2 herself. How many so she won 3 national championships at South Carolina?
I think she won 2 and lost a third.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
They'll probably think about she put in the league. Remember, she had Asia Wilson.
Oh yeah, she coached Asia Wilson, who's arguably the best player in the WNBA. She's accomplished. I'm just saying the Knicks don't really want her to be their coach, so they even throw her name up.
How many national championships has she won at South Carolina?
I know a definite 2.
Does that?
And she lost. She just lost the third one she just played in.
So like I said, but she's not the chick from Tennessee. I think she's like 900 years old now, the chick from Tennessee, but that's the only one.
She's a legend, Pat Summitt, that's
what I mean. You need to be a legend to
I'm just saying.
Most people, like I said, if you
R.I.P. to Pat Summitt, matter of fact.
Yeah, she did. Like I said, I don't know women's basketball, but I know Pat Summitt. I don't know Dawn Staley until someone told me that she was up for the next job. That's all.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Strider says, don't mind Cop Izzle, but when he tells his kids to blow a whistle, I'm like, dude, that's weird. Yeah, Cop Izzle's a little weird. James Stein said, okay, Tim, you keep up. Thank you, James. I will keep up the talking. We'll keep up the work. Jay Ferris says, Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense was the best concert ever. Okay. Okay. I'm going to give you that one. Yeah. The best concert movie, because I remember the Talking Heads concert movie for that. Because then if we're talking concert movies, I'm going to have to disagree. But I'm just going to say, Jay Farris says, thanks, James and Tim, for coming out tonight. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. For the 70-something people still hanging out, I got to go to bed. I got to get up early. And I don't like getting up early, but because it's the summer and no one's in school. So, but I do have to do this interview tomorrow. So it's let's make sure that we're all bright and bushy tailed for that one. So I got to make sure we're all good to go. I want to thank Ryan's from Ryan's Big Blue Podcast for hanging out. I want to thank James from hanging out as well. I want to thank what I like to refer to now is the voice of God, or whoever James is talking to in the background, because I keep hearing another voice.
He does sound like God, right? Got that Boys to Men, the deep guy from deep voice from Boys to Men.
No, I don't remember Dawn. I know who Cheryl Swoops is. I know who the Lisa Leslie is. I know who they are, but I don't remember Dawn. Sorry. I'm trying to distract from her, but no, I don't. It's James. To James's point, I think it's more of a disservice to her than anything else, because she's not getting the job. So
Yeah, no, that's what I just think it's they don't, like I wish they would have threw her name out there a week ago before some of these other dudes we were hearing, where it's like, come on.
Does anyone remember when I think it was Bill Lambier went and coached in the WNBA? What a weird thing, because there was really no men coaches like that, but it was this weird scenario that he was a coach of that team, and it wasn't the right time and right moment, and the Knicks are not the right time and right moment for Dawn. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. Okay. I do remember that, but I didn't know that was Dawn Staley.
That's right. Dawn Staley bust Martin Cole, and Tommy. R.I.P. Tommy.
I didn't know that was Dawn. She should get the fucking job. I was gonna leave that. I did not know that.
Good call, Big Dash.
That is a good call, Big Dash. I didn't know that. All right. For the 70 plus people still hanging out there and hanging in, I gotta go. I want to thank everyone for hanging out. Probably not gonna do a live stream to the end of the week or next week, so we'll see about that once we get some actual content coming in. I love it. I'm not loving this topic. Move on. so, that's the other voice telling me to move on. We're moving on. We're moving on up. Great show, Tim. Well, thank you, Big Dash. I wouldn't know because you never invite me on your fucking show. That's all right, though. You had R0B on your show.
You did. Shout out Big Dash, Big Rob. I saw them.
And I love it because someone sent it to me that R0B was on your show. And they said, how could R0B be on the show before you? And I said, I don't know.
We love Big Rob here, so, spreading the love.
Rob asked. Well, I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask. I don't ask. I just get invited. I want to be on.
I was going to say, that's not the thing.
What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? You could have invited me, but that's all right. That's all right, Big Dash. I always say nice things about you. I was there in the beginning for you, like I am for Ryan, but it's like everyone else. How many other giant YouTubers first came on that I tried to help out and be nice to in this, and then they turn around and they stab you in the back. But that's all right. That's all right. There's no other reason why we fly the pirate flag here. Because we're I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. So, James, you got anything to say? I don't do guest spots, boss man. Well, then fine. You're not welcome here.
Think you gonna get away with it? Not up in here.
Not up in here.
Yeah,
well, boys, don't take your footballs and go home now.
I'm too tired of wonking him. It's too much effort today. You know I love you, Dash. It's open invitation every Saturday to everyone. Ask Jay Ferris. I don't know. That's a lot of effort. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday, dude. I gotta hang out with the wife and do stuff on Saturday. I'm assuming it's Saturday night.
Yeah, he does a late night stream usually on Saturday. Shout out to Big Dash.
I gotta hang out with the wife. I can't do that. James should know that. All right, guys, we're out of here. Stay tuned. New video tomorrow with a former NFL wide receiver talking about Malik Neighbors. So make sure you catch that. We'll have another guest episode on Tuesday, another one on Wednesday. And then, like I said, we're going to stop. We're not going to continue doing the guest spots with these people until camp starts. But right now, this is just a good way to get some content out there. And these are actually some really nice people we've talked to. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I want to thank James. I want to thank everyone for being here. I got to run upstairs and get dressed and take a shower, get everything ready for tomorrow. So I'm out of here. So I hope everyone has yourself a great rest of your day. James, don't go anywhere a minute. I'm going to end this And we're out of here.